Hello, folks. Super Eagles will be taking on Rwanda in Uyo. They will be taking on Rwanda in the AFCON qualifiers. Eagles played a 1-1 draw in their last game against Benin Republic Cheetahs in Abidjan. We are not too comfortable with that result because of the way Super Eagles played. And a lot has been said about the team, especially the way it is being constituted in terms of team selection and all that. My advice to us in Eguavoen is the us in Eguavoen-led technical crew is watch it. Don't be carried away by the performance of the team in the past 3 or 4 games. Watch it. When you start playing players based on name or clubs they feature for in Europe, it is not good. It is not good. We want to see Super Eagles based on form and fitness. Players should be brought in, given a shirt or jersey on the crest of their performance and ability. Probably not just in their clubs, but also during training sessions. We saw the midfield very flat in Abidjan, where Alex Iwobi and Wilfred Ndidi anchored the midfield. Ndidi played as his traditional role as combative midfielder, while Iwobi played as maybe a playmaker or creative player, or I don't know. We saw Iwobi in that role in the AFCON finals in Côte d'Ivoire. We saw him in that role, and Iwobi is not a playmaker. He may have the skill, but he's not a playmaker. We saw Iwobi at the AFCON. Truth must be told, Iwobi is not a playmaker. Give him another role, not a playmaking role. If you are giving Iwobi a playmaking role, you are not only limiting the boy's abilities and his chances in the team, but you are also destroying the team. If every player must not start a game, he mustn't start Iwobi because he is Iwobi. Yeah, he played for Arsenal, he played for Everton, and he's now in Fulham. You mustn't start him. If there's no role for him, there's no role for him. I've said before that players should learn to adapt. If a player cannot adapt to other roles, then those who can adapt to roles, you give them those roles to play. For instance, if a player is hit by injury, if a team is hit by injury where you have about 6, 7, 8 key players in that team injured, a coach will begin to convert players. You convert players into roles of those who are not playing to get results. So players who cannot adapt, who you cannot convert, they will be on the bench for those who can adapt. A player can be a defensive midfielder and your central defenders, 2 or 3 of them are injured. You bring him in to come and play defensive role, a central defensive role. That is football. We have seen Iwobi over time play in the playmaking role. He's not a playmaker. A playmaker holds the ball, carries the ball, attracts opponents to himself, thereby creating space for the forwards who are running into those spaces. And you give a pass, a wall-splitting pass, a fence-breaking pass, and anything can happen. A playmaker holds the ball, rolls in the midfield, does some things with the ball to attract attention, attract the opposition to himself, thereby creating roles for others. And that gives the defensive midfielder a role also, a free role also to play, to help the defenders. Iwobi is not a playmaker. Eguavoen should create another role for Iwobi if he must start anyway. Otherwise, get a playmaker. We saw what Bashiru did, Dele Bashiru did in the last 2 games he played, and he did well. If you think he's not good enough for the playmaking role, get somebody else. We are only playing qualifiers. We've not qualified yet, or even if we have qualified for AFCON, we should have World Cup at the back of our mind, at the back of our minds, because qualifiers is one thing, tournament proper is another thing. We should prepare our team as we qualify ahead of the tournament, so that when we qualify for the tournament proper and get into the tournament, we know that we are in for business. We saw what happened in AFCON. We don't want a repeat of that. AFCON was there for us to pick. but the midfield was flat, and the coach Pesero decided to play defensive formation or pattern throughout 90 minutes, which rubbed off on us. So we should ensure that players are given roles based on their ability, their form, and fitness. If a player cannot play a playmaking role, don't give him that role. Eguavoen and his crew should be mindful of this. You don't think that because you've played the team has played well in the last 3 games, you just feel that okay, it's time for you to relax and try some things that are not workable in the team. Nigerians are watching. We want a good team for Super Eagles. Thanks for watching this video. My name is Desmond Eguavoen.